All right. Hi, everybody. Welcome. We are actually moving our lives, our weekly trainings that I do here inside of the Holistic Business Success Facebook group to Tuesdays at 4 o'clock. So, welcome. If you are brand new, let me know that you're here. I'm so excited to see you. We are streaming this into our Facebook group. We're also streaming this into our YouTube channel. So, come say hello. Let me know that you're here. For those of you that don't know me, I am Chris Williams. I am the best-selling author of the Soulful Abundance System, as well as the creator of Activate Abundance Academy, where I get to support health coaches, life coaches, spiritual coaches, intuition coaches, trauma coaches, somatic coaches, the women that are here to help make lives better to create boutique businesses. So what does that mean? What's a boutique business? It is that sweet spot between $100,000, $500,000 a year. And we get to do that with high profit margins, low tech, minimal team. This is not about building a giant empire. This is actually about creating an income stream that supports our life as well as our clients and keeping it really, really simple. So welcome. I'm so glad that you guys are here. We are diving in since this is March 3rd. 2026. For those of you that are watching the replay, we are going to be creating March momentum. So, one of the things that I get asked a lot by my clients is how do I actually not just set a goal, but actually achieve a goal? So, if this is for you, if you are a coach and you're like, yeah, I have absolutely no idea what my goal is going to be in March, or maybe you're like, yeah, it would be really nice if I had that goal, but I'm not really sure kind of what I need to do to reach it. I've got you. So I'm super excited to dive into this with you. So first things first, if you are a health coach, life coach, trauma coach, somatic coach, intuitive coach, nutrition coach, and you are watching this on YouTube and you have not joined me over at the Facebook group, go ahead and pop on over there. That way I can answer all your questions and you will have access to the replay. So super excited about keeping that inside of the guide section. If you are here live with me inside of the Facebook group, welcome. Go ahead and comment in the chat, hashtag live if you're watching it live, hashtag replay if you're watching the replay. And just know that I do circle back around. It is me. It's not a bot. It's not a team member. It's really me. I will circle back around and answer questions, any questions that you have as we go through this. All right, so setting goals. First, I want to share the 3-step framework that I really love to use that helps me to not just set a goal, but actually achieve a goal. And so the 3 steps that I want to focus on, and you guys may have heard this before, it's be plus do equals have. So be plus do equals have. Another way to look at that is the inner game. What are the thoughts and the ways that we are thinking and the identity that we are experiencing? The inner game plus the outer game, what is it that we are doing, the actions, the strategy equals our abundance. So I've shared that inside of the Abundance Coach Code. If you still want access to our private podcast, the Abundant Coach Code, just go ahead and pop code in the chat and I will be more than happy to send it your way. So be, do, have. So I actually like to start, many people start from being, and I absolutely love that too. There's no right or wrong way. You can either start from the being or you can start from the having. Okay. Today, we're actually going to start with the having. So what is the desire that you are declaring? And this is really important. This is not a wish. This is not a hope. This is not a someday I hope that I'm going to get there. This is truly a declaration. What are you declaring that by the end of March, you are going to be so excited to celebrate? So what is that? And I want you to write that down. If you want to pop it in the chat, you can also pop it in the chat for me. And I want you to think about it in terms of either a client goal or it could be a dollar goal too. Either way is totally fine. If it's a dollar goal, so let's just say, you know what, I am declaring that for the month of March, I am going to create a 10K month. Amazing, whatever that is for you. We do want to break that down into, well, what does that look like realistically in terms of clients? So here's what I want to say about your goal, whether it is a number of client goal or an income goal. Here's a way that you can actually make sure that you are achieving it. We want to have a realistic goal, okay? And it really does need to meet the parameters of setting a SMART goal, not just a pie in the sky goal, although I'm absolutely all about stretching. But what we don't want to do is set a goal that's so high that it feels like it's in the bullshit zone, right? It's like, yeah, month of March, I'm going to create $1 million this month. Well, probably not going to happen if you haven't even hit $2,000 this month, right? Not saying never, there's always miracles, but what's going to happen if we set the goal too big? That what happens in our nervous system is that we end up tapping out and we don't actually take the actions that we need to take in order to get to that goal. So I want you to think about a realistic goal, one that would be like, yeah, that might be a little bit stretchy for me, but I can see that that's actually going to happen. Okay, so we want to create a realistic goal. So I'm going to walk through your have goals and so that we can set the right one. So we're not just going to create a number, we are going to do this a proper way, right? So the SMART, SMART. The first one is specific. So we really want to make sure that it is specific. So if it's a number goal, great. If it's a client goal, how many clients, right? So first of all, it needs to be a specific goal. Number two, and that's S, and that stands for easy for me to say, specific. Okay. M, it needs to be measurable. We can't just say, yeah, I want more clients, or we can't just say, I'm excited to have more money. It really wants to be measurable because we want to know that we've actually achieved it. So measurable means that I know that I will achieve this goal when this measure is met. So for example, I'm declaring 3 new clients into my program this month. Great, that's measurable, right? It's 3. Okay, so specific, measurable. Number 3, actionable. There have to be some actions that you can take, and we're going to talk about that in the next component of this training here. So we want to make sure that our goal actually is actionable. So there are things that we can do that are going to propel us towards actually attaining it. Okay. Number 4 are realistic. We talked about that already. So that is a realistic goal. It's not in the BS zone. It's okay to be a little stretchy, but we want to make sure that it's actually a realistic goal that is predictable for you to achieve. And then finally, it needs to be time bound. I keep looking over to the side because I want to make sure I'm not missing anything. Time bound. So by when? So we already kind of have that dialed in for you by the end of March, right? So we're going to start with a specific goal. We want it to be measurable. We want it to be actionable, and we're going to come up with the actions that we can take next. Has to be realistic, and it has to be time bound. So think of time bound as by when. And you can do this with any goal that you have. Okay, so that's our have goal. Then we're going to jump back to our be goal. So be plus do equals have. So we're already excited about what it is that we're going to create, right? Now, what is the person? Who is the person? Who is the identity that is actually going to implement the actions to have the goal that you desired? Right? So the declaration. This is where identity comes in, right? This is who are you being in order to take the actions in order to have the result that you want to have. And I really want you to think about this from the lens of who do I need to be in order for this goal to be inevitable? Who do I need to be in order for this goal to be inevitable? So for example, I'm just going to use centenarians, right? We know that one of the things that centenarians do is they get movement in on a daily basis. So if you want to live a long life and live to 100, let's just say that that's your goal. I want to live to 100. Then some of the things that centenarians do, we need to look at the identity of somebody who has lived that long. Who is that person? Right? So they are moving their body every day, right? That is who they are being. They are in that identity of this is who I need to be. These are the things next we're going to talk about the doing. Okay. So who do you need to be? Who do you need to become in order to be that person who takes the action, who invites clients to work with them, who attracts new people into their ecosystem, who builds and grows a successful coaching business? And if you're unsure about what that looks like, I want you to think about somebody else who has what it is that you desire. So I'm just going to go back to the example of three new clients. Who do you need to be in your mind, in the identity, in the way that you're thinking, in the way that you're acting, in the way that you're being, right? In order to predictably bring on three new clients this month. And you can just write that down because this is going to make a big difference, right? So, who is it that you need to be? And if you're unsure again, who is somebody else who you know who has that already? What are the things that they are thinking? What are the things that they are saying? What are the things that they are doing or being in their life that help them to create that? Okay, so we can look for evidence that's already out there in the world to help us step into this identity. Because if we don't have that, and we are still in the being state, the identity of where we are right now, which is not having enough clients or being in a state of lack versus in a state of abundance, we have to create a state change first, right? So we have to be the person, we have to think the thoughts, and then we have to take the actions that are going to propel us to having what our goals are. Okay. So who are you being? Let's make it really, really specific so that you can see yourself showing up, thinking the thoughts, being the person who is taking the actions consistently so that they can have those three new clients this month. All right, now let's dive into goals. Okay, I'm sorry, do goals, right? So we've got the have, we know it's measurable, we know it's specific, we know it's realistic, we know that it's time bound, we know who it is that we're being. Now, what are the actions that this person is actually going to take? This confident, empowered coach that's here to help people make their lives better, whether it's healthier, whether it's happier, whether it's more purposeful, more fulfilling, right? What are the things that that identity is taking? And so I want you to think about 3 to 5 actions. Think about your goal. So I'm going to use the same measurable goal of three new clients in the month of March. I'm so excited to celebrate three new clients in the month of March, right? And first, the identity is going to be you are a doer. Okay, you're not a dreamer, you're a doer. So the identity that we get to wear in order to achieve our goals are I am an empowered leader. I am a doer. I take action consistently every day. Now, what are we going to take action consistently on? Okay. This is where you get to decide 3 to 5 things that you're going to take action on a daily basis through the month of March so that it's predictable that you can bring on this new client. So I'm going to share some that I teach to my clients inside Activate Abundance Academy. And so one of the things, the first thing that we do is that we are being visible, right? So if I was to say, if I had to do it all over again and I needed to, build my 6-figure business all over again, I would say that the most important actions would be number one would be visible. Where am I being visible? Right? So every single day, I'm going to be visible someplace on a platform that I know my ideal client is hanging out. So right now, I'm visible here in Facebook and also in YouTube. I know that those are the 2 places where health coaches, life coaches, holistic coaches, intuitive coaches, somatic coaches, my ideal client spends time learning and showing up and interacting. So the first action that I would do is where can I show up every single day to be visible? Okay. The second thing is how can I have people raise their hand and self-identify so that I can then bring them into my ecosystem? So what does that look like? Well, that would look like a lead magnet, right? A freebie. What do you have that you can share with somebody that's going to help them move the needle forward? And these are people that are not yet on your email list and they're not yet in your Facebook group if you've got that, right? So these are brand new people. These are not necessarily current clients or past clients. These are people who have not yet worked with you, and they are people who you want to bring into your ecosystem, right? So our ecosystem is our community. For me, that's my Facebook group. It's also my email list. So I would say, who could I serve today? An action that I would take is where could I share this value that could help coaches find their next client? Okay. So one of the things that I'm doing is I'm actually sharing that here with you today, right? So I'm going live today. It's streaming into YouTube, it's streaming into my Facebook group. And so this is something that I am helping you guys have value. And that actually falls into the next piece, which is what am I doing to nurture? What am I doing to nurture? So once somebody is either subscribed to the YouTube channel or watching the YouTube channel or in my Facebook group, now I get to actually provide real value, right? So that could look like a training like I'm doing today. It could look like just a simple reach out like, hey, how did you like that freebie that you downloaded, right? So I would make sure that every single day I take one action to be visible, one action to attract and bring new people into my ecosystem with some free value. I would take one action also to nurture the people who are already in my ecosystem, right? One of the reasons why I go live every single week inside of my Facebook group is because it's nurturing. It is giving the people that are already in my ecosystem, already in my Facebook group, a chance to see how I am, how I work, what it is that I'm teaching, and to then give them an opportunity to raise their hands and say, yep, I want the show notes to that uh, um, training that you did, or I would love that freebie, or whatever, right? So nurturing is really, really important. And it's one of the things that people tend to miss. And a lot of times people are thinking, well, let me just attract and convert, attract and convert. It doesn't happen that way. Before anybody is going to want to work with you, they're going to want to connect with you, see who you are, feel safe, feel trusting. So that nurture piece is really, really important. The fourth step that I would do is I would absolutely take a look at, okay, if I want 3 new clients this month, I would need to create a love list. So who would I put on my list that is already in my ecosystem? They're either already on my email list, they're already in my Facebook group, they've already downloaded something, maybe they've commented on some things. Who could I put on my love list that I think would be a perfect fit to have support? Right? So a love list is really, really important because if we don't have a list of people that are already in our ecosystem, then we're kind of just shooting blind. We're like, I don't know, I want 3 new clients. How do I get it? Well, let me just post on Facebook. That is not actually a invitation. That is actually a client attraction tactic. It is not actually a system and it's not even a sales tactic. Okay. So we don't need to be salesy or slimy, but we do need to identify who is in our world now who would be interested in exploring having support. Okay, so making that love list. And then final, number 5 would be I would actually reach out to those people on the list and say, hey, how are you? It's Chris. I'm not sure if this is a good fit for you or not, but we're starting this new program on March 10th. It's called the Lead Magnet That Monetizes program. Is this something that you might be interested in learning how to attract new leads into your ecosystem, how to create a high value, high converting freebie that actually is going to attract the right client, how to create a bite-sized offer that you can invite people to actually become a paying client once they've downloaded your freebie. And if you want to participate in our bundle, everybody who participates in the lead magnet that monetizes is going to be shared with 50 plus audiences. So if this is something that might support you or serve you, let me know. Would love to hop on a quick call or share the details with you. And so that is actually making an invitation. It is sharing something with somebody and inviting them to explore whether that is a good fit for them, whether they're interested in having support around those things. So notice I didn't say, buy my thing. Notice I didn't say, hey, do you want to buy my thing? Notice I didn't say, hey, do you want to, join this program? It's not about joining a program. It's actually about inviting somebody to explore whether or not they want support in order to have an end result, right? And so if you go back and listen to the recording, what I shared with you was some simple ways that you could message if you're interested in having support around solving this problem, right? So maybe you're attracting the wrong leads into your ecosystem. You got a lot of people that download, but nobody buys, right? Maybe you're unsure about what to do with them once they are in your ecosystem. Maybe you're unsure about how to take them from stranger to viewer, from viewer to potential client, from potential client to potential lead, and potential lead to buyer, right? There is actually a system that we need to have in place. If you don't have that, this is something that might serve you. So we're talking about the problems that we get to help our people share, and then we just get to invite them to explore having support. So again, It's so simple. It's so simple, you guys. Just would you like to explore having support? By the way, if you are interested in hearing the details, we have a couple more spots open in this program, the Lead Magnet That Monetizes program that starts on March 10th. Just comment a lead in the chat below, and I will circle back around and just share the information page with you. No pressure, no obligation. I'll just share the details with you. Okay. So 3 to 5 actions. And here's the thing, we have to actually take the actions, right? So we have to take the action. We have to do the reps. We have to be the doer, not just the dreamer, not just the person who's curious, but actually taking those actions. So I want to invite you to write down something that would fill in the blank of each one of these steps. What are you going to do for the month of March to be visible? What platform are you going to be on? Where are you going to be? Where's your ideal client? What are you going to do to attract them into your ecosystem, either on your email list, in your Facebook group, so that you're doing that with a freebie, with a high converting freebie, or giving them some value? What are you doing to nurture the people that are already there? So how are you connecting with them? How are you inviting them just to have some conversation with you? Then finally is your love list. Have you made that yet? If not, you need to think about what is it. Again, we already had our specific goal, which is 3 new clients. So we already know where we want people to go. So who are the people that would be the best fit and be the best served by that offer? And then finally making those invitations. Okay. Now there's a couple more steps that are going to help you actually make this completely achievable. So number one, if you take the actions, you will get the results. If you don't take the actions, you won't get the results, right? We're simply doing a numbers game at this point now. If you invite people to work with you, and the more people that you invite people to work with you, the more people will say yes. If you don't make the invitations, or if you leave out any of these pieces, it's going to be really, really unpredictable for you to make your goal. So these are going to be, again, the things that you want to put on repeat on a daily basis and actually do the reps. Now, after you are taking the action, I want you give yourself a good couple of weeks, like let's just say 14 days of you taking these actions every single day. Okay. Visibility, attraction, nurturing, taking a look at your love list, inviting people to work with you. Okay. Take those actions every single day for 14 days. And then let's take a look and see what the results are. So now we want to analyze. We're going to be like, okay, I've done this every single day for 14 days. What's working? What's not working? What do I want to keep and put on repeat? What do I want to let go? Is there an opportunity for growth? Is there something that I can up level? That analyzation helps you actually take a look at what it is that you want to continue to do, or maybe you want to make a pivot, right? Maybe you're hearing other things that your ideal client is needing. Maybe there is a different way that you want to show up. So there's a lot of different ways that you can do this, but if you keep them in these 3 to 5 categories, put them on repeat, analyze it, and then do it again, right? That is going to be the way that is predictable for you to have your 3 paying clients by the end of the month. All right. All right, my friends, here's something that I want to leave you with. You absolutely can do this. Just take it step by step, right? There is a simple pathway to creating a 6-figure and a multiple 6-figure business. And it doesn't necessarily look glamorous, right? The steps that I shared with you about creating a SMART goal and, a strategic plan for taking the action. It's not like I'm teaching you something advanced. You probably have already heard some of what it is that I've shared with you. The difference is, are you putting in the reps? Are you doing it with enough consistency and frequency to actually get the results that you want? Consistency plus frequency, so continuing to do the things over a period of time, is actually what's going to help you get the results. And I know it's not fancy, and I know it's not bright and shiny, and I know it's not this newfangled tactic, but that is actually what works. So let me know if you want to join us over inside of the Lead Magnet That Monetizes program. I would love to support you if you are a coach or a practitioner who is attracting clients that are downloading but not buying, or maybe you don't even have an asset that you can use to bring the right client into your ecosystem, and a system that actually takes them through stranger to viewer, viewer to potential client to a potential lead, and ultimately to a buyer. And if you want to get that lead magnet in front of multiple audiences so that you can get this in front of the right client who is willing and capable of working with you to solve the problem that they're struggling with. All right, my friends, be sure to like, subscribe if you are watching this on YouTube. If you are on Facebook, let me know what questions you have. What is in the gap between you bringing on those next paying clients that you are looking for this month? And if I have a resource inside of my toolbox, I will send it your way. All right, my friends, I will see you next Tuesday. Just a reminder, we moved our live Soulful Abundance trainings with Chris to Tuesdays at 4 p.m. So we just moved it from Monday to Tuesdays, 4 p.m., same time, same channel. And I will see you guys next week. And don't forget to check in with me. I would love to know and celebrate with you what is going well in your business and celebrate all the cool things that you're doing. Take care. Bye.